Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Bagel Roundup podcast. If I remember correctly, this is episode 8. My math might be off, but I'm pretty sure it's episode 8. Um, I guess we could just get started right away. Well, sort of. We might have a surprise guest in the middle of the podcast. We were supposed to start with this person, but they're not available right now, so we don't know if they're going to join in the middle of it or what. So we don't know about that. But if it comes down to it, then we'll introduce them. But yeah, I guess we'll just start. We'll get started right now.
If you're just joining in and you already feel like clicking off right now, let me remind you next podcast is going to be something interesting and you might want to watch a little bit of that. Anyways, um what's our first topic? You know what? Let's talk about the rumors with
With
Xbox.
Xbox or
There's
Microsoft
been
in particular.
Microsoft, Xbox, that kind of general category. Um, there's been rumors that Xbox or Microsoft or whatever not only would buy Ubisoft. Um, there's been rumors about that. I'm not too sure if those rumors are true. Um, like there's been tons of articles about them. And then
It's all
there's also been
speculation.
rumors about Microsoft buying Discord, and that seems interesting because Microsoft has always tried to. I don't like Microsoft doesn't seem like the type of company to have a social media platform, you know?
Yeah, I think that also goes down to if going to be like monopoly wise, because like Microsoft owns Xbox, they own what else? I mean, like if they start owning a bunch of different things, it's gonna become like monopolizing. I would think because like there's already a bunch of fucking companies out there that are basically monopolizing already, and I fear that Microsoft might be heading that direction.
I believe that kind of stuff is really hard to pin down as a monopoly because they're not dominating one single industry. Like
Yeah.
Google has a lot of different they have their tendrils in a lot of different things.
Hmm.
Okay, but they're not they haven't been really considered a monopoly yet. Might be considered a monopoly with YouTube, but there's other offshoots like BitChute and
Well, I mean,
other stuff like
the
that.
thing with that is that YouTube is owned by Google.
Hmm.
It's like whatever you think about using, it's probably probably owned by Google. So like if you don't like Google and like you want to use like a YouTube platform,
Hmm.
yeah, there's like Storyfire, right? You can go use Storyfire. But you're not going to get the same results from that because no one is really using Storyfire to watch videos besides a select few people, while everyone's on YouTube because it's the big name.
Exactly.
Like Storyfire doesn't have much competition when it comes to YouTube, unfortunately, but that's where it is. YouTube doesn't have much competition. Google does, like the Google engine does have some good competition out there, but it's like what Google owns
Yeah.
is kind of, I don't know. It's a weird topic to go down.
Google, like the Chrome application, like as a web browser, I believe it's like 85 and above percent market share. Like that's the browser to use. Even though like I'm pretty sure me and you were like the odd few who use like Microsoft Edge or some crap like that.
Just for those Microsoft points.
Just for the Microsoft points. I only use it because it's integrated with like Windows 10, I think, or some shit.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know.
is.
But like with YouTube, like all the major creators are all on YouTube.
Hmm.
Like the big ones, the big entertainment creators, and yeah.
Well, we kind of got sidetracked. We started talking about monopolizing and shit. So let's go back to Microsoft buying Discord and
Oh
Ubisoft
yeah,
as a rumor.
yeah. Discord that was a really interesting thing because I remember Microsoft. I think they acquired MySpace, and then that
They own
flopped.
Skype. They own Skype,
They own Skype, but
which
nobody
Skype
uses
sucks.
that.
Yeah,
Nobody
Skype
uses
sucks.
that anymore. Like as soon as Discord and crap came
See,
in,
and that's why I'm afraid. That's one thing I'm afraid of if Microsoft does buy Discord. What if they fuck it up? What if they fuck up Discord and it's no longer good?
I
That's what
don't know.
scares me.
I think one thing Microsoft has learned, I think especially after their Mojang acquisition, is there was that one update where it merged all the platforms and there was a lot of bugs and people were pissed off about that. And I think Microsoft learned to like back off and let their purchased companies do their thing, you know? And I feel
Hmm.
like they're going to do that with Bethesda. They're going to let Bethesda do its thing. They let 343 do its thing pretty much. Um, so yeah.
And see, now I think the main problem I have with that is that whenever we're playing Xbox, right, we're playing together, we're in a party chat, and the party chat breaks. We go over to
Yes.
Discord. So if Microsoft buys Discord and then they integrate those two party things, the Discord call and the party chat, if they integrate those two, and if one breaks, then what happens to the other? Will it break too?
I
So like
don't
that's one
think
thing I'm
so.
afraid.
I think, I think it would be like if they do buy Discord, I think it would be a really good thing to throw out the old Xbox party system because there's always freaking issues with it. There is always
Hmm.
issues with it. I hardly have any issues with Discord.
But again,
Um,
again, since Microsoft can't get their shit together and fix the party chat, like, can we trust them controlling the Discord calls?
I don't know. I don't think they'll specifically control the Discord's calls. I think it'll still be run under Discord servers.
Oh, okay. So Microsoft won't be buying the Discord app. They're buying the company that makes Discord or something like that. Is what
Discord
you're
is
trying to
its
say?
own company, yeah.
Okay, so Discord is okay. So Discord's a company that made Discord. So
Yeah.
okay, so they're not buying Discord like the app or the site. They're buying Discord the company, and
That's
so
the rumor.
Discord the company
Discord
will
itself.
still create Discord.
Discord,
Okay,
just basically their company and their developers. They're
that's a
buying them.
that's a mouthful. If anyone was able to understand what I was saying, that's a mouthful.
Yeah. I think really
But,
like
yeah.
if they do that, I think they would compl- if I were them, I would completely throw out whatever trash Xbox system they got and have their Xbox servers focused in on providing quality online experience, gameplay wise, and have Discord focused on communication. You know,
I guess.
I
Yeah.
think that would be a good idea because Discord's already doing pretty well right now. I mean, like, it's gaining more and more users faster and faster. So,
One thing I would like to see is a Discord app that is that runs well on Xbox. Like it's
yeah,
completely um optimized for Xbox. I think that would be really useful.
yeah, I
So
think,
you go onto your Xbox, you just hop onto the Discord app, and boom, you're using Discord on your Xbox. I do think that's a good idea.
yeah, I mean, like, I think it'll be kind of difficult to do something like that. I think they might, like, how they integrated EA Play and or EA whatever the EA Pass thing is into like the Xbox store and all that shit.
Hmm.
I think they might do something like that with the party chat system is like create like a party using Discord or something. They might and I think one thing they've been doing right is opening a lot of these experimental features up for testing, and I think they might do that as like an experimental feature at first if they do that. Anyways, we've been on this topic for a while.
Yeah, I really don't have much to add to it. I mean, it's all a rumor, so we don't know exactly what's true and what's not.
Yeah, and they might
But
do something like add like Nitro to the Game Pass, and if they do that, then that actually kind of goes into another topic we have, and that's subscription services. If they do add Discord Nitro to Game Pass, then that would probably bump me up to being one of the subscriptions. If I had to pick one subscription, I would then probably pick Xbox Game Pass
Xbox Game
if it
Pass.
had Discord Nitro. I always say this, like Discord Nitro is a waste of money, but like I got a year's worth of it already. I spent money to get a year's worth of it, so I didn't have to pay until next year. So people get it.
Hmm.
It works.
So
Um,
that is a whole nother topic. I actually have that written down. And for anyone wondering, the exact question is let me find it because I have it written down word for word. Um, if you could only have one subscription and had to drop the rest, what would it be? So your answer would if they added Discord Nitro, your obvious answer would be Xbox Game Pass,
yeah, Game
right?
Pass Ultimate, not just Game
Game
Pass.
Pass,
Game
Game
Pass
Pass
Ultimate.
Ultimate. Yeah.
Um,
Um.
but obviously that's a what if scenario.
Yeah.
Um,
With the information that you have right now, that is 100% confirmed. What
yeah,
would you then choose?
it would be really hard. It would be a hard. It would be either Amazon Prime because you get all their music, all their video, all their whatever benefits. You also get some Prime gaming benefits. Um, you get a lot of different stuff. Amazon's just chunking everything they own in there. They buy something, like they spend a shit ton of money to get into some certain industry, and then they add some part of that industry to Amazon Prime. That's basically what they're doing. It's either that or Xbox Game Pass, because Xbox Game Pass, Amazon Prime has their own little gaming thing, but it's definitely not as awesome as Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Um, you're able to get one free game a month, and I don't know if you get to keep that game with Amazon Prime, but yeah, it's in between those two. It's really hard to choose, but I might choose Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, um, just because I usually play games the most. That's
Yeah.
like my source of entertainment. That and YouTube, and maybe like some other social media stuff that's
YouTube.
free. Yeah,
You
YouTube.
subscribe to YouTube?
No,
Oh,
source of
I see what you mean.
entertainment.
I see what you mean. You're talking about the source of entertainment.
Yeah,
I was about to wait. You start using YouTube Red? Like people actually pay for that?
YouTube Premium. Oh man, if I
Didn't
were
they
gonna
call it
pick a
YouTube Red at one
subscription
point?
service, it'd be YouTube Premium. No, YouTube TV, bro. Ooh, those mid-roll ads in the middle of
But
watching my favorite shows. The cooking
didn't
channel is
they
on there. I don't know.
didn't they call it YouTube Red though at one point?
I think they did at one point. I think they called it YouTube Red. I think that sounds cooler.
Yeah.
It sounds different. Um, but I understand why they went for premium because it's
It
easier for a
appeals to the
consumer.
yeah.
It appeals to the regular consumer. Okay, so you go to you go down the street. Okay, you have these signs that show, oh, there's Xbox, and then they could say Xbox Game Pass Ultimate or something. That like it makes it sound cool. It sounds like you're getting an upgrade. You go down to you see YouTube Red, and you're like, wait, what's the difference between YouTube and YouTube Red? Doesn't make they don't understand because it's just a color. Red is just a color. But yeah, that's probably why they chose premium.
um
Oh,
well
and
I guess I
what
should
yeah, you
yeah.
should answer too.
I should answer. I actually only pay for one subscription. So it's kind of hard, but well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's kind of hard because I'm like split between two different subscription services. I'm currently subscribed to Crunchyroll. Um, but if I had to really, well, okay, so let me get this straight. I don't pay for Xbox Live Gold, right? But I
Yeah.
get it game shared. So like, I currently really don't need that subscription. So I could I could just fucking leech off of somebody, putting
Yeah.
it shortly. But with Crunchyroll, like with that subscription, I find myself watching a lot more anime than I used to. And that's just because the ads on the free version was just a pain in the ass, and I didn't really like going to pirate websites. I'm just not a big fan of that. So I'll
Mhm.
like to get the official source, and the subscription just makes it much easier for me, and it appeals to me more.
Yeah.
And I'm watching a lot more anime. So if I were to choose, I would just stick to Crunchyroll because it's literally the only subscription I'm paying for right now. But Xbox Game Share, I mean Xbox, yeah, Xbox Game Share because that also shares the gold of that other person. Um, if I wasn't able to game share, then I probably would have to choose Xbox.
Yeah,
Probably
Xbox Game
Xbox Game
Pass.
Pass. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty good one.
And shout out to the person that's letting me leech off of them. I thank you greatly.
Game Pass Ultimate?
No, I don't have Game Pass Ultimate. This
Oh, you
person's
just
just
have
paying
the
for gold. Just
oh.
gold.
Um
That's cheaper, I believe.
yeah. Oh, and they tried upping the price on that like a while back, and then people got
Yeah.
mad and they immediately lowered it. Like within 24 hours or some shit. It was hilarious, bro. That's
Yeah.
what happens. One thing that I think it would be really good if Xbox really wanted to get people on their Game Pass Ultimate subscription service, they what they could do is if you go from gold to Game Pass Ultimate, you get a discount on your subscription forever. I think that would really incentivize people to hop over to Game Pass Ultimate. Just an idea, Xbox. Just an idea. Okay, if you really want people to leave Xbox Gold and go to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, give them like a discount. And I mean, like, it doesn't have to be forever. You can change it to like, oh, for 1 year, you have a discounted Xbox Live or well, the best subscription for Xbox. I fucking forgot the name all of a sudden. I mean, like, that would be a really good incentive. Anyways, enough talking about capitalist stuff.
I
Let's
do.
talk about
Okay,
some
I do
communist
think.
stuff.
No, okay. I do think we can stay on track with the console stuff.
hmm
So we're like already on the new generation of consoles. We have the PlayStation 5, we have the Xbox Series X. Um, you know, but we've all had to start somewhere. What is your earliest console memories? Like your first console. What was the first console you got or the first console you played on? And what was your earliest memory with that device?
Man, I don't. Okay, so the earliest console, I don't remember exactly which one. It was like a really weird console. It had like some Cars game on it or some shit. I
Was it a
really,
GameCube? Because I
it
remember a
wasn't a
Cars game being on a
GameCube. It was
GameCube.
something else. But at that same time, I went. Oh, my mom had a boyfriend, and he was a chiropractor, and she worked for him, and there was like a little separate office place that I would sit in, and I would like play video games while I just waited out their workday. And I played a Cars game, and that's the weird console thing. I don't remember exactly what it was. Um, I'll have to look it up
What do you know
later.
what it looked like?
I really don't know. I think it was gray. It might have been an Nintendo
An
64
N64?
or some shit.
Probably.
But I don't know what N64 has a Cars game on it. so I'm not too sure. But I remember, I really do remember, I had a GameCube at home, and I loved playing that. Um, I remember I had a lot of memories playing the GameCube. I remember I used to play a certain Sonic game, and it had those like there was like a special area where like these little things grew up, and as you played through the game, you got more of them. I don't remember what they're called, and you're able to switch between like Eggman and Sonic and stuff, I believe. And I just liked spending a lot of time in that little area for some reason.
Hmm.
It was like a 3D Sonic game.
I think I know what you're talking about. My brother used to play that a lot.
It was pretty fun.
Um, I never liked Sonic though. I like really anything Nintendo. Like as a kid, I didn't really like many Nintendo games
That was
except for
Sega.
like well, I mean, still it was like Sega was still like on Nintendo. Um,
Yeah.
like it was on GameCube is what I mean. Like when it comes to Nintendo, I didn't really play a lot
Yeah.
of Nintendo or games on Nintendo. Um, except when I had the DS. Like I used to like Animal Crossing. I still do. I have the Switch right now, and I play Animal Crossing. What's it called? New Leaf? No, it's not New Leaf. That's or is it? No, I don't fucking remember the name. Okay, the new Animal Crossing is for the Switch. Um, I play that, but I also never liked Mario. But I had this one Mario game that I liked on the DS. It was like it wasn't Paper Mario, but it was like these little mechanical little Mario's that like you had to like I guess like press at the right time to like go across the level. I don't remember what it was, but it was pretty cool because I like to create levels on there. Whenever it comes to
Yeah.
creativity in games, I gravitated towards those because I loved making my own levels or maps or whatever. So I liked that game. But my very first console memory, I can't tell you if it was the GameCube or the Xbox because I had both of them around the exact same time. But my favorite memories for my first console was for the very first Xbox, and I would just be playing Halo 2 over and over and over again. I would have a friend come over, and we would just play Halo 2 campaign over and over and over. And sometimes we'll put in some Ghost Recon 2 and do some 1v1s on that game. Man, it was so much fun. It's just every time, every time I think about Xbox, I just or anything Xbox related, I just have to think about man, the very first Xbox and all those good memories I had back then.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of people had really good memories with whatever their first console was, whether it was just sitting in a certain area of just one certain game or playing with friends and stuff. And I think one thing, speaking about talking about the Nintendo 3DS you mentioned earlier, I remember one thing as kids, we used to always we used to go to your grandmother's house, right? It was grandmother's house.
Hmm?
Um,
Are you talking about the one that lives right next to me?
no, the other one.
Okay, then yeah, then that's my real grandmother.
Your
My
real
neighbors,
grandmother.
my neighbors, we call them grandmother because they're like family to us, but they're not related by blood.
Yeah. Um, we used to do ghost adventures with the Wii. We used to use the recording thing on the
Oh yeah,
Wii. Remember
yeah.
that? That
Yeah.
shit
Well,
was
no, it wasn't the
funny.
Wii. It wasn't the Wii.
Or not the Wii. It was
The
like the
3DS.
Nintendo 3DS. Yeah.
Well,
I don't
I
know
had
why I
more than
said
just the
Wii.
3DS. I had the DS Lite, the 3DS. No, I didn't have. I never owned a 3DS. I owned a 2DS, which is like the
2DS.
off-brand version of 3DS, basically.
The
It's just cheaper.
off-brand version.
It's not off-brand, but you
Just
know what I mean. It's just
cheaper.
cheaper.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I remember using the DS Lite to record like voices,
Yeah.
and then we set up like a 3DS or 2DS in our case. Set it up in the hallway and just wait for something scary to happen. I do remember that.
Yes.
But
Yo.
that reminds me though, like I do remember sometimes on those recordings. I wish I still had. I probably do have my DS Lite somewhere. I could probably like open that up again
Uh-huh.
if it still charges because I might still have some of those audio recordings. I swear to God, on some of those audio recordings, there are voices coming through those.
Oh, a lot of the time. I don't know if I ever told you this, but a lot of the time I was fucking with you whenever I
Oh,
did
really?
a lot of the time before like we would leave the room and then like I would make sure I was like the last one out of the room and I would like quickly like say something, like whisper something. So, and I think maybe now that I think about it, maybe you weren't able to hear me whispering it because one of your you were deaf in one ear. Which
Yeah,
ear were you deaf in?
my left ear.
Your left ear. We usually went into that right room, so whenever we're leaving, your left ear is facing towards that room. So that's maybe
Oh, yeah.
that kind of gave me chills for some reason, but that makes sense. That lines up. That adds up perfectly. Anyways, yeah, I used to fuck with you a lot, and I thought it was fun. I mean, like I had fun fucking with you, and you had
Yeah.
fun hearing these voices, and I had fun pretending they were actually voices.
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, I could look for my. Well, I'm not gonna do it right now, but later I can look for it and see if I can still have the charge or whatever and turn it on.
yeah,
But if I still have those recordings, that'll be fun to go through and listen to.
yeah.
Um, but I guess that also reminds me, we're kind of on the paranormal side again. Is there anything paranormal that we haven't talked about that we would like to talk about?
Hmm. I don't. I'm not too sure.
I mean, I could start.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't exactly say if this was paranormal or not because like a walkie-talkie can pick up frequency from any other radio, basically.
Yeah.
But I remember you were there, I believe.
Yes, I remember that. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're
Yeah.
about to say.
Basically, long story short, I guess you could take over because you might remember more than I do because I don't remember much. Um,
Okay.
but I do remember that we had these walkie talkies. I still have the same walkie talkies. I've had these for a long time, and they still work perfectly fine. But I remember we had them, and we were just playing around with them. And the walkie talkie started picking up a voice that we didn't recognize. So I turned to one of my friends. I think it wasn't you. I know there was someone else there with us.
I
Um,
believe it was your mom. I think we had Aunt Nancy there. Aunt Nancy's like always there whenever we're
well, no,
both
no,
there.
no. It was another friend that was around our age. It was
Oh.
more than just you and me. It was
I
like a
think it
party
might have
there or
also been
something.
your sister there too. I think.
I think it was one of my friends. I don't either way.
I don't
Someone else was
remember.
there. So I turned to him. I know it was a guy. I turned to him and I was like, "Hey, do you have the walkie-talkie on? Are you like messing with us?" And he gives me the walkie-talkie, and it's not on. I remember that, but like we were basically having a conversation with another kid with a walkie-talkie that is that's the only one turned on.
Yeah.
That was weird.
That
But
was
I don't remember anything that he said. I don't remember the voice, like what it sounded like. I don't know if you remember anything like that, or remember something that I don't remember from
yeah, I
there.
think it was I don't know. I don't know how old they sounded. I don't remember. But I do
But
remember
yeah,
what you're talking about. That was like really interesting. I'm almost 99% sure it was just some other random person.
yeah, like
But
with someone else, like that means someone close by would also have to have a walkie-talkie on and be
yeah,
there to
like
talk through. Like,
within the neighborhood, like
yeah,
maybe
that,
across the street or something.
yeah, that's
Oh,
weird.
and you know what? Now that I think about it, I think it was someone across the street that came we played with or something.
It could have been, yeah,
Because I remember like one time I think we might have gone over there. I don't
yeah. I,
remember.
I mean, it doesn't, it couldn't. I mean, it most likely isn't paranormal, but it's always fun to think about what if we talk to a ghost through a walkie-talkie, you
Yeah.
know?
What if what if
Yeah.
that actually was a ghost, man? I wonder. Did we ask? Is like, hey, are you a ghost? Did we ask that? Are
I
you
don't
a
remember.
ghost?
It sounds familiar. It's starting to ring some bells. Yeah, I think we were starting to like freak out on the paranormal side with that
I think we
and start
asked.
asking you like paranormal questions.
Yeah.
I do remember it being staticky though, so like every time they tried to talk, they wouldn't be able to get their whole voice in or whatever. Like it would just cut out on them. I remember that.
Weird. I don't
But
remember
that
that.
could have been a distance thing though. That could have been just very far away.
Yeah. Man, now I feel like going to talking about the stuff you've seen and
The
that
stuff
I
I've seen.
haven't.
Oh shit, I've seen a lot of shit, bro.
Like literally I the latest thing that's happened is okay. If um we go out to a place, we won't specify where.
Yeah.
Um, if you want to really look into it, you'll probably find out, but it doesn't really matter because we don't live anywhere near there.
Mm-hmm.
But we go out to this place, we go out to the forest and we record and stuff just for fun, and we do it like every year. And the latest one, literally, Bagel was pointing. He said he saw something, okay, and I usually I trust him 100%. Okay, whenever he says these things, I trust him 100%. Well, not 100%, like 99%, because it's kind of hard. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but you can't just make shit up all of a sudden, just randomly. Nobody does that unless you're a psychopath. And I mean, that's undecided if Bagel's a psychopath. But anyways,
Undecided. It's yet to be figured out.
it's
Shit, I'm
yet to
still
be
figuring it
decided.
out.
It's yet to be decided. Anyways, he's over there pointing in the distance, saying like he says he sees like a face or something, and we might put the video up for this. But he's pointing off in the distance, saying he could see a face, and I'm like looking, and I get literally right next to him, and I'm looking, and then I'm like, okay, I'm push him out the way so I can get
Oh,
where he's
yeah.
standing,
I know this part,
and then
yeah.
I still can't see shit, and I'm like,
And
what
it
the fuck are you talking about?
and it pisses me off when you can't see it.
Yes, it pisses me off too. Whenever I can't
The
see
scariest
shit.
part, the scariest part though is whenever we hear a noise from not that exact direction, but like in the general area, we hear a noise and it
Not
freaks us out. So
not
we,
the general area. It sounded like something running to us.
oh
So
yeah,
basically, we're sitting there. I think it's like getting dark. It's getting a little
yeah, it was
dark.
getting dark.
It's sunset, so it's getting dark quickly, and we're in this forest. So once it starts getting dark, it gets dark quickly. So we're sitting there. We're looking. We're being a bunch of fucking dumbasses trying to look in the trees. See, I'm trying to see what the fuck he sees, and then out of nowhere, I think from the right there it sounds like footsteps like in the cuz there's leaves everywhere. So it sounds like footsteps going in the leaves, tiny footsteps or something, and it scares the shit out of me personally.
Oh
And
yeah,
I don't know if it
weren't you the
scared
one
the
that started
shit out of
running,
you,
or what? I
but
don't remember what happened there, but one of us started running.
I started running. I was like, if we're gonna be hearing like, oh man, that's the point that I got scared shitless, bro. I didn't want to go back in that forest for the rest of the night.
Well, no, the scariest part for me though is I do remember we ran. Okay, one of us
Yeah,
started to run, so we didn't want to get separated, so we both ran. But I remember I told you to stop, and I wanted to go back and see if that face thing that I saw was still there.
yeah,
But the scariest part was is whenever we went back there, I didn't see it. I looked at that exact area and I didn't see it.
yeah,
That's what scared me.
yeah. But that scared me shitless. And like you said that day, the roles swapped. Like
Yeah, the rules did swap.
usually it used to be me wanting to go in deeper and you wanted to just stay on the path. But now I'm like, I'm out of here. Mainly because something like it was, I don't know, it felt more real that day. It felt extra real.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
it did at the same because like it freaked. Okay, um, first off, I'm gonna ask you a question. I could cut this out if you don't want this in. I can talk about the actual channel itself. I remember we created the channel because you specifically wanted it to be a separate thing.
oh, it's fine. We
But
could talk about it. It doesn't matter.
so I can link the channel. It can
Yeah,
be
you can link
connected.
the channel, link
Okay,
videos.
because that's the
Well,
whole
don't
reason
link the
why it
general
has a
channel.
different.
Link the videos, certain videos, or better yet, just edit the videos in if you can, if you have the
I'll
ability to.
either way. I'll figure something out. Anyways, um, what was I saying? Oh yeah. But yeah, I think whenever I said I saw something moving,
Hmm.
and my eyes were locked on right where it was,
Mm-hmm.
where I saw it, and I didn't look away from it. And you were trying to find out, like you were trying to look in the same direction. And then I see another thing move in the exact same area, which is like I said in the video, it looked like a pair of legs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you I saw it again. Like it was either one long creature thing or two separate things. I saw whatever it is, I saw something, right? And you didn't see anything. And that's when I got really scared. So I think at that point we kind of left that area, if I remember correctly. And I think around that time is when the roles swapped because I was dead set. I was like, I saw something. I want to go look what this is. I want to catch this on thing on camera because I was so pissed off whenever we reviewed the footage and nothing was there.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the roles swapped. I saw something. I know I saw something, and I want that on camera. And on for you, on the other hand, I think you believed me so much. Well, I'm not saying that I'm lying, basically, but I'm just saying like maybe you didn't believe me before, and whenever I told you this time, you started believing me. I think that's when you started feeling some fear, and that's why the roles started to swap. Because I saw something I want to catch it on camera. You're starting to believe me more, and you're starting to freak out. What if something here is evil?
It's not that I just. It's not that I didn't believe you. It's just because I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it because I have
No, I'm
trust
not. I'm
in
not
you.
saying.
Okay, I'll have trust in you, but I want to be able to prove that trust and be able to see what the fuck you're seeing. And also, like, I just want to be able to see what you like, just in general, be able to see what you're seeing. Like, what the hell is this crazy ass thing you're talking about? I want to see it, bro. But I couldn't. I wasn't able to
And I know
see it,
that's why it pisses me off whenever I don't catch it on
and it
camera.
kind of pisses me off too,
Yeah. But
cause
I
I want to
wasn't
see this
saying that.
shit.
No, I wasn't. No, no. What I was saying though is I think that's when I think the roles started to swap. Like I
Yeah,
think after that point, you started to feel more fear, and I started to feel more curious about what's going on, for some odd reason. Right
true.
there, I think that's where it kind of swapped.
Well,
But I know you trust me because there is one video to where we got something on camera. Well, we don't know what it
yeah,
is. I could put
yeah.
that on the screen. I can link that whole video there because um we got something on camera. We can't exactly tell
Yeah.
what it is because it's fucking low quality. It was recorded on a shit camera at the time.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. I didn't have money. That was just a poor ass camera that was given to me, which is
And I
unfortunate. Why is
believe
it
I
that
think we did eventually see a second thing on some other video, but I don't remember which one it was.
I don't think
So,
there I don't think we did actually see something. I remember seeing something similar with my own eyes a few years later after that video,
something
but I
similar to
don't think
that?
we yeah, remember I told you at one point I saw like a shadow in the
I don't
distance
remember that.
between some trees. I told okay, it's we're gonna have to go
Oh,
over some
yeah, yeah,
videos.
yeah. I remember now. I remember now.
But yeah. Um
It was like
yeah,
between
that
trees
shit's
and shit.
pretty I still have to upload more of those videos. Like I have all those videos ready for upload for that
Yeah,
channel, but I haven't completely uploaded all of them.
yeah.
So do need to go through that, but yeah, that's I'm not saying that there is something paranormal out there. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm seeing something. We're seeing, or at least, well, I can't say we're seeing something. I'm saying I'm
Sometimes
seeing
we're both
something,
seeing something, and most
and
of the
we want to
time it's
figure it
only
out.
Bagel seeing something.
Yeah, we want to figure it out. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Um, but the weird part is that it first started out when we were really young and we were just like Bigfoot hunting for fun.
Yeah.
But I fucking swear to God, I've seen something that looks like a Bigfoot over there.
A Bigfoot.
I'm not saying it is
Yeah.
because I know it sounds ridiculous, but I've seen something there that resembles a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So that's always freaked me out.
You know, a question relating to this. What what are the most scariest moments, like the most scared you've been during those times while we've been at the park? We'll call it the park.
Okay, yeah, the park. The scariest moment. I was actually by myself, believe it or not. Okay, no. There's a train of events. Okay, now I have three most scariest moments that were probably the most scariest because I was super young, and so it just freaked me out way more than it should have. Well, I wouldn't say than it should have because I don't know what the fuck I saw, but the first thing that I saw, which is what actually made me curious about what's in those woods, um, was whenever we were in the woods. I don't remember if it was you there, but I do remember one of my other friends was there. We were just walking through the woods, right? And we heard like what sounded like chains rattling. So we're like, "Oh shit, someone else is here." So we ran. We weren't. It's a park. It's an open park, so like anyone could be there. Anyone's allowed to be there, but we just didn't want to meet anyone in the middle of the woods, so we ran, right?
Yeah.
Um, so we ran off, and I kind of okay, so it's weird. There's these train tracks that go through the woods, and we were following those train tracks. They're not real train tracks. It's like a little prop thing. Um, so we were following that, and that leads out of the woods as well. So it's like it's an easy path to follow. So we were running out that way, and as I'm leaving the woods, I get this like weird urge to just stop and turn around and look at where we came from. So I kind of just stopped. My friends kept running, and I was just like, okay, look, I'm not in the woods anymore. I'm in the clearing. I'll look and turn around. So I turn around and I look, and there's this big black mass. I couldn't make any definitions. I mean, I couldn't see anything definitive, but I saw this big black mass like swaying back and forth, like it was looking at me, and it was aware that I was there. And this is right in the entrance of the woods. Like it wasn't outside the woods, or it wasn't like deep into the woods. It was like right where we that line, right where we exit from.
Yeah.
Like there's this big black mass swaying back and forth, and then I just see it kind of like turn around and then go back into the woods. And that freaked me the fuck out. I ran
Yeah.
back to my friends. I was like, "Look, this is what I saw." And me being super young, I was like, "It's Bigfoot." That's what I said when I was super young.
Yeah.
And so that's what piques my curiosity. So I started like investigating more. I remember I got your help a little bit, but the most scariest one is when I wasn't even looking. I remember we rented a cabin right next to the woods. It wasn't in the woods, but it was right next to them. And it was like in the middle of the night. I wanted to go ride to someone else's cabin for lunch because we had other people there. We had friends, family, and they were all renting other cabins and shit. So I wanted to go somewhere else and go talk and eat.
Yeah.
So and this is the time when I had a big bike. I was still a young, small person, and I had problems getting on my bike. So I was just sitting there trying to get on my bike. I couldn't see very well. It was dark, and then to my left there's a car driving down the road. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just wait for this car to drive by so I can see what I'm doing and get on my bike and ride right away. So I'm just waiting for that car to get closer, and as it does, I see the headlights are picking up something to my right, and I see some movement to my right. And I'm like, okay, natural reaction is to look and see what is in my peripheral vision. So look over there, and in the woods, like reminder, I'm right next to the woods. Maybe like a few feet away. I see this again, big black mass just standing right there, kind of like swaying back and forth, looking at me, and then it kind of just like drops to the ground and disappears when I noticed that. So when I saw that, especially when it was just a few feet away from me, I picked up my bike and ran. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna sit there and try to get on my bike. I wasn't gonna sit. I don't know what the fuck I saw. I don't know if it's dangerous. Like it
Yeah.
obviously
That
saw
shit's
me
freaky.
because whenever I looked at it, it dropped down to like okay. When I was younger, again, I think Bigfoot because it's woods, supernatural creature, Bigfoot, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, so like in my head, I was thinking it crouched, right, and then maybe like crouched ran off. But again, I only see a black mass, so it could have been maybe it didn't have like a physical feature. It could have been some sort of spirit, and it could just like just vanish right there. It could just drop and vanish. So I don't know what the fuck happened. So yeah, I picked up my bike and ran. I don't even know why I picked up my bike. It was just a reaction. But
Yeah.
I did not
You
want to
ain't
be
letting
next
that
to that.
creature take your damn bike.
Fuck no. But yeah, that scared me. Um, and then the third one is when you were actually there with me, and this is the one that also scares me because I actually see a physical creature that resembles Bigfoot. This is what I'm gonna tell you right here. Um, I remember we weren't even in the woods, but we were like walking down the fence line that leads into the
Yeah.
woods. And I remember looking at something that looks like a face and it has like brown fur around it, but like I can't really see like what it was like a triangular type head, right? And like there was like brown fur around it, like a light brown, tan maybe, and it had a black face. Just I couldn't make out eyes, I couldn't make out mouth, but I can like make out like wrinkles. Like I could see it was like wrinkly black face with brown fur around it. But it was like triangular shape, like there's a tip at the top.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at him like, what is that? So I tried to get you to look, and again, you're not seeing it. So I'm like, look over here, look right there. Do you see that? And you're like, no, I don't see it. And then for some reason, you turn to your left and start walking a different direction. So I turn to look at you. I'm like, what do you do? Where are you going? Then I look back to where I was looking, and I see this thing stand up and run away from us. And
Holy crap.
I remember seeing its tail. It was a thin tail. It was running on all fours like a gorilla. It was all covered in light brown fur. It had a very thin tail, again light brown fur. But at the very end of the tail, there was no fur, so it just had like dark black skin. I remember that vividly because when I saw that, I freaked the fuck out. I didn't even tell you. I ran.
Also
You
pause
saw
for a
me
second.
running. Should I continue or?
Yeah, continue. You're
Anyways, it's
just
almost done. It's almost done. I'm just saying, like at that point, I was running because I didn't even tell you anything. You saw me running, so you're like, dude, what the hell are you doing? It just made me mad that you didn't see anything, really.
yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the scariest things that happened to me. Those three events and that area scared the living Christ out of me, or the living crap out of me.
So this looks like our guest made a surprise appearance. Um they're muted. I don't know what's going on right now. We can edit this out, I guess. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's me.
Oh, your volume's really really low. Let me turn that up.
This
Sure.
is the loudest I can get.
Oh, okay. Um okay, so basically me and Bagel were talking about our scary experiences related to a place. I don't know if you've seen the videos. I probably share them with you every once in a while. We go every once in a while. We go to a family reunion and we go to a place and we go hunting in the woods because not hunting actually, but we videotape in the woods because we're boys. We mess around and stuff, and we've done this like every single year, and it's just fun. And we've actually had a few scary experiences, and Bagel just got done telling us about his scary experiences. I'm about to talk about my scary experiences. And I guess we can then talk about like if you've had any sort of paranormal like interactions or something of the sort. So, anyways, basically, yeah, all of Bagel's things are pretty scary. I don't know if mine are as scary, but I have three. Like Bagel said, he had three, so this reminds me of another one I had. I was gonna say I had two, but I have three actually. One thing I remember is whenever I was really young, I had a really old phone, and I was using the zoom feature. It was like a really crappy zoom feature, and I zoomed in on like some crazy log, and I think you remember this,
I
Bagel.
remember, yeah.
I zoomed in on this log, and I was freaked out because it looked like something. And then I think literally, I like I stood there in shock. I was fucking scared, and then I backed away slowly. And I think the next day we went over there, and it was literally just a fucking log sticking out of the dirt
Well,
with
yeah,
moss growing on it.
but
It looked like something with fur. So
okay, one thing that I don't get though is that whenever you showed me the footage, it looked like the thing that log was moving, but that could easily just be a shitty camera. Like you said, the zoom feature was pretty shitty.
yeah, it was probably me shaking inadvertently because I was scared.
But yeah,
Um
but like at that age though, like you see some moving on a video that you know damn well you didn't edit, and you're just like, ooh, ghost or Bigfoot or some
yeah.
stupid shit like that. So like you start to jump to conclusions.
Yeah. Well, the second thing I remember getting scared about, and these are in order. Second thing is not exactly seeing it immediately, but like remember the one time we were recording and we actually did catch something and we went back to the cabin. Like we didn't catch it, we didn't see it whenever we were there, but we went back to the cabin and we saw it in the video.
Yeah.
And I don't think it freaked you out as much, but it freaked me out a lot. And I
That
think I was,
looking back over it, like nowadays though, actually really does creep me out because I have no idea what the fuck it could be.
yeah,
Like people try to tell us that like, oh, it's a leaf at a weird angle that's moving, but like
the
it
way it's
it
moving,
the way it's moving,
it,
it literally looks like it's in the distance, and I'll just have to put it up on video on the screen. Like it's really hard to explain, but
yeah.
it's really weird.
And the next scary thing relating to this area was those footsteps that we are talking about earlier. That's the third scariest thing, and that's probably the most scariest thing. Um, because we were sitting there minding our own business, and I felt it. You know, it's kind of like it was like a scary video game. Tension was building up. I was trying to see. I was like unaware of some whatever else. I was unaware of the world around me, except for trying to see what you saw, because you saw something, and
Hmm.
I wanted to see it, and I was trying to. I was so focused on looking at this, so and I didn't like. It just caught me so off guard hearing whatever that it might have been something dropping, maybe a stick or something dropping, but that it sounded like footsteps in
It
the
did, like especially
fallen leaves. It was so
like
scary, man.
it's like when you hear multiple leaves breaking along with sticks, and it's like it just sounds like it's coming towards you. Like it's fight or flight at that point.
Yeah,
You
and
don't
I
want to
was
know what it
out of
is.
there,
Yeah,
bro. I think I was the one to start running, and you were like, "Oh man, I don't want to be left
because
behind," and you followed me.
I do remember that you were the closest to the sound
Yeah, it
when
was
that
on the right
happened.
side. I was
Yeah.
on the right tip of you. And yeah, I was out of there. I was so wanting to just come with me and let's get the fuck out of here. But you wanted to go back in there, and I was like, no, man, come on, don't go back in there. And
Yeah.
it was whenever it was getting starting to get dark,
It was starting to get dark. Yeah.
so it was getting hard to see.
Ugh.
Anyways, the
Remember that light that we saw that was
oh
coming
yeah, I
towards
remember that
us?
light. That wasn't really scary. It was just intriguing. It
It
was
was weird.
weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, so which okay. Okay, I guess they switched accounts. Anyways, um,
um. Well, I kind of want to talk about that real quick. That uh, floating light that was coming towards us.
yeah,
It wasn't a flashlight because it was quite close to us. If it was someone holding a flashlight, we'd be able to see the person. It was pretty close to us, and it was really weird because it was following a trail. It wasn't
yeah.
going through like bushes, trees, or anything. It was following a trail,
Think of
and
like a firefly.
yeah, except like you don't see the firefly itself. It doesn't have the same color. It was just a blank white light
Yeah,
that
it was
didn't
strange.
die out either. Like a firefly, like it'll light up and then go back down, then light up, go back down. This is just a straight light that didn't change at all, except it was just
Yeah,
floating across the fucking trail.
like the
So
way
that was
it
weird.
lit up, it was similar to firefly, but it wasn't like the same color, and it didn't like go in and out.
Yeah.
It was strange, and I remember that.
It wasn't a big light either. Like I would say it was bigger than a firefly, definitely, because a firefly is so small. But it wasn't big.
Yeah,
So maybe it was some other bug that we have no idea about. I've never seen
yeah.
anything like that over there
And I've
either.
never seen a
So
firefly not only follow a trail, a human trail, but stay lit, like without blinking or
and
anything.
again, we know this wasn't a human because it was right next to us. We would have been
Yeah.
able to see the
And
person
I think we
walking.
were like just standing there watching it like come
Yeah, we
towards
weren't scared.
us.
Yeah, we weren't scared at all because we were just like, what is that? Like,
Yeah, we were mostly
but
interested.
that is kind of scary because it was coming towards us. It was following the trail to the direction
Yeah.
that we were.
I think it
But
eventually
like,
just disappeared.
it did disappear.
We didn't
It
see it.
got closer and then it
Mhm.
disappeared. Yeah.
Anyways, talking about like scary experiences and stuff like that. We've been talking about a little bit of paranormal stuff before you came in. What type of paranormal stuff have you experienced in your life?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, once I was walking home and I saw on a wall there were these shadows, and it was like a little monster on the wall, like just hopping around like a monkey that's completely black.
Hmm.
So that was weird. So I looked away and I looked back and it was gone. I was like, oh my god, what was that?
So wait,
Yeah.
were
Oh
you so like were you like really young at this point,
yeah,
or
I
was
think I
this?
was at I think I was 6, and I was next to the school.
Oh, okay. Oh, see, that's what I was gonna bring up. Like, if you were like in that situation, like if you were just like trying to sleep or whatever, that would have been a whole different story or a scenario. But like if you're like wide awake next to a school, like I'm assuming this was in the bright daytime, right?
It was bright-ish.
Okay, then that's pretty weird.
Yeah. And then I never saw it again. And then I went back to the school. Like I forgot how much longer, but later in the future, I went back to the school and I looked at it, and there was a crack in the wall where the shadow was. So I touched the crack and nothing happened. It looks like a normal crack. So I'm like, oh, what the heck? Um, I can't explain that phenomenon because that makes no logical sense. So so
Yeah.
that's it.
That's interesting. Have any of your like family members or like friends or something experienced any paranormal, any like interesting paranormal stories that you've heard about from friends or family?
Um. Oh yeah. Okay. I have a story. So my dad was really sick for months. Like he couldn't piss. He couldn't eat much. He has headaches. So we were wondering what's going on. Why he's sick all year. And he went to doctors, and they just gave him catheter and didn't help much. So then my dad told my mom, uh, he's been getting nightmares recently about his dead friend coming to look for him in his dreams. So, but that friend is supposedly still alive because he moved to America around the same time as dad did, but to a different state. He started a restaurant. He was living his life and hasn't seen dad in 20 years. So that's weird that he's suddenly getting nightmares of his friend's ghost. So
Hmm.
we called, um, my mom called her mom in China and told her mom, which is my grandmother, that my dad has been sick and getting these nightmares about his dead friend. I mean, we didn't know he was dead. We thought he was alive. So then the grandmother did some investigations and found out that the friend died recently in America, even though there's like 20 states separating my dad and that friend, and there's been no contact. We found out that dad's old friend was dead, and that's why he's been getting nightmares. So
So wait, for how long was he dead?
recently, like around the same time dad started getting the nightmares. So
Ooh,
that was
that's
scary.
spooky.
It's like
That's
the dead friend, the ghost went for dad after he died.
yeah.
um so my dad and my mom were like, oh my god, he died, he actually died. So they told my grandmother, who was in China, what do we do? And then my grandmother said she's just going to go to some temples and pray, and told my mom to look for some monks in the city and get them to exorcise the ghost. that's been haunting my dad. So my mom went there and they exorcised it for my dad, and they gave my mom some oranges. Or actually, no, I'm not sure about the oranges. I think my mom made that up, but she brought some oranges and she took the peels, and then she went to the front yard of our apartment, and then she burned the orange peels while saying to go away to the ghost. So I'm not sure what's the point of burning the orange peels, but then I guess it worked because afterwards my dad stopped getting the nightmares about the ghost and he recovered. So he stopped dreaming about his friend. And now he can use the toilet again, he can eat, he can drink water.
That's really
Yeah.
interesting. I mean,
So
like
yeah,
I've.
like
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. I mean,
I,
imagine your old friend and then suddenly he dies and then you didn't know he died, but you're getting nightmares that he's dead, and then you call China and you found out, oh, he actually did die.
yeah, there's a lot of stories and events that are very similar to that, and it's just like there has to be some sort of correlation, you would think, if it happens so frequently with people that you always hear about it. Um, at least that's what I think from it. Um,
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's like some weird ass coincidence.
yeah, like it's a coincidence that
It's
isn't
not
really a
like,
coincidence if it happens so often to people. Because I always hear stories like that.
Yeah, I do too.
yeah.
I mean, like it's pretty interesting. Like stuff similar to this, but I've never really heard of something like your friend died. Like so, his friend died, and he started having health problems, and he started having nightmares.
Yes, and he didn't know the friend died, so we actually found out the friend died because of the nightmare.
Huh. And
That's
once y'all
interesting.
did whatever y'all did to get rid of the nightmares,
Yeah, it's
your
some
dad felt better.
exorcism. Yeah, he felt better. So it's like, I think the monk, the non scammers, because there's a lot of scams out there. I think the legit ones knows something.
That's interesting because I mean, like I've heard of stories of like, oh, someone's grandmother died, and they came back like they wake up and like at the end of their bed, their grandmother's looking at them and like staring at them, smiling or something like that, like just to say like one last goodbye, and then they never see him again as a ghost or whatever.
Yeah, that's scary.
But like I've never heard of like someone's friend dying and then like having bad like becoming ill afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I haven't heard
interesting.
anything like that either. That's pretty different.
yeah. So my family sometimes bullies my dad by saying he's especially vulnerable to ghosts because he's an asshole. So the ghost they like to target him especially.
Oh,
So he's just unlucky. But I think it's just a joke.
oh,
See
Because
that?
I'm gonna be honest. A few years ago, okay, this was really cruel. But my dad killed a bird, and it's right afterwards. He got sick for a few months, kind of pissed for a few months, and nightmares whenever he saw a bird. So he's yeah, I don't know. He's just vulnerable to ghosts, so I guess it depends on the person.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
see,
interesting.
that reminds me of something. I wouldn't say exactly similar, but like, I mean, I guess I can kind of like relate it to that because I also sort of have a family member that's no longer with us, but like also has like some sort of like paranormal.
Oh no, I was pouring water. Hold on.
It's fine. But uh, I have that reminds me of another story. But I should have to ask, how long have you been recording for, so I know. Or just a little bit longer. Um, so this reminds me. I was actually supposed to have either an older or a younger sister. I don't exactly remember, but she apparently didn't make it to birth, like she was already dead by then. And it's weird because my sister always well okay when my sister lived in this house, she would always have a friend come over, and her friend would always complain about seeing a little girl in the corner of the room. And my sister never saw anything, uh, but her friend kept saying, "There's a little girl sitting in that corner over there staring at me. I can't sleep. I need to go sleep on the couch in the other room or whatever because it's just freaking me out." So years go by, and that's happened many times. And now my sister's moved out, and I'm now in her room. It's now my room. I got all my other stuff in here, and I've had drawers open on their own in here, and that's pretty creepy. I've never seen a little girl or anything, but I've had a drawer. I wouldn't say well, okay, open is kind of an exaggeration, but the handle on it, I would hear lift up and then drop because it's like one of those metal handles that you have to lift up to like get a good grip on it so you can open it. I would hear that metal handle lift up and then just drop, and that's what scares me out sometimes.
That's interesting. Um, do you, so I think they're called mediums. Um, it would be interesting if your sister's friend was a medium, like she didn't know it, but like she's able to see ghosts and stuff.
Yeah,
But
because
like
none of our
whenever it
family
comes
was
to
able to
you,
see the
like you're
little
not able to
girl.
see her. You're not able to see the little girl, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen her. No.
But like whenever we go out in the forest and we do these videos and stuff, you see things that I can't see.
See, that's one thing that I'm wondering. If this is our sister that was never born, maybe it's like a family thing because none of our families have seen this little girl, but this one friend of ours has seen her. So is it like it's weird? It's some sort of weird correlation right there. Family
Yeah.
hasn't seen her, but whenever only this one person as well has seen her that isn't family. Yet I'm not gonna say I don't believe her because I've had some weird stuff happen in this room, and only this room.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm thinking a completely different way. I think maybe like I think certain people are able to see certain powerful ghosts. Like if you're a really strong medium, you're able to see and talk to ghosts that are much weaker, that don't have as much spiritual energy, and that's been believe a proven thing that certain ghosts have more spiritual energy and are able to do certain things better than other ghosts. Like poltergeists, for example, can throw objects around because they have a lot of spiritual energy. And what if the spirit, what do we assume as spirits, or maybe it's actually Bigfoot or some stupid crap? I don't know. What if those like whatever we see in the forest or whatever you see in the forest, and every once in a while we film, what if those are more powerful?
Maybe I don't know. See, that's the thing about the paranormal. We don't know anything about it to really have a confirmed, thing about it. Like we just don't know. It's paranormal because we don't understand it,
Yeah.
and I just that's all it boils down to. We just don't know anything about it.
Yeah. You know what? I think that's a good place to end off the podcast.
It was a long episode.
Yeah, I mean, like
It's good though.
I
We
like
got a
this
lot of good
episode.
paranormal stuff in. Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
So I guess I'll do my outro.
Well,
Um,
thank you to Anna for joining the podcast. It's much appreciated, even though you only came in for half of it. That's fine.
we did
We
get some
love
good.
having guests on.
We did get some good topics in with you here though. That's good.
We did, yeah. We appreciate
Yeah,
you
yeah.
coming.
Let's do our next podcast.
Well, we had to
We
Bagel
have
has
to
to
end
do
this
his
one
outro,
first. Yeah.
No,
and
I
we
meant
can take
like
a little
next
break.
time.
Oh, next time?
Oh,
Okay.
next time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. So, anyways, if you like what you saw, please leave a comment. If you have any topics for us to go over. Again, I really need to script this outro. I'm falling apart here. um, if you like what you saw, like the video. It helps a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more. And if you have a topic that you want us to cover, leave a comment down below, and we might cover it in the next podcast episode. So yeah, thank you all for joining us today, and peace.